You may not realize it, but stress is killing you. If you've got kidney disease or any other health condition, there's a good chance that in part it's been caused by your own stress. Long-term stress has been proven to reduce your immune system, which means you can't fight off disease. So what are you going to do about it? Well, I'm going to tell you what I did about it, but you've got to promise that you're going to look into your own situation, that you're going to be introspective, meaning that you're going to look into yourself to figure out where are your stressors coming from, because that's the only way you can reduce stress. There's so many things that you can read about. There's so many different, activities and so many different suggestions people have. But bottom line is, it all starts with you figuring out what is stressing you out. So I know that in my case, when I was diagnosed back in 2020 with stage 3A kidney disease, I started researching and looking into kidney disease. And what kept coming up is that stress can be such a main contributor, to disease in general. And I don't know about you, but I have lived a very highly stressful life, most of it being self-imposed. So that's why I tell you, you have to look into your own situation, because I think you'll be surprised to find out how much of your own stress you cause. You have to then really be willing to do what it takes to get rid of those stressors. So once diagnosed, I used my READ method, resilience, education, action, and discipline, to educate myself, not so much about stress. I know what stress is, okay? But to educate myself about what I was doing to myself and what I liked, what I didn't like about my lifestyle, what I could change, what I couldn't change, and then how I would react to that. So in my situation, I came up with the fact that my business was very stressful to me. I was very stressful to my family, which in turn led them to be stressful back. And I also just, really wanted to have a place that I could get away. So those were the top three that I came up with. What three, do you come up with when you start educating yourself? That's what's important. Or 5 or 10, but at least figure out what the main stressors are. So again, in my case, I decided that my action plan would be to first eliminate what I did not want to do anymore, which was to be a business owner. I realized that enough was enough. I've been very fortunate, and I've been able to build some insurance agencies over the past 30 years. And, I just figured it was time. But in the same sense, I also knew that I didn't want to leave myself totally empty. So when I sold my business, I also agreed to stay in a consultant role and also have the ability to continue to sell insurance if I chose, but I didn't have to do any of them. It was simply on me. And once I did that, God, it was just such a relief, because I didn't have to worry about managing the agency anymore. I didn't have to deal regularly with the employees and the staff. Not that they're bad people. I just didn't want to do it anymore. So you may not be in that situation. Maybe you work for a company, or you do have your own business, and you just have to figure it out. Maybe you hate what you do, and you're young enough that you can make a switch, go get another job, have the guts to do that. But really look into what it is you're doing again, because I think you'll find out that there's a lot of stressors that you should just walk away from. And then certainly there's the ones that you can control, like I was able to do with my business. Family can be a big stress to a lot of people. And I think that, in a lot of cases, it's due to relationships that just bad relationships. Maybe you've got a boyfriend or girlfriend that just doesn't need to be around anymore. It's toxic. Maybe, like in my case, you've got just a great family. I mean, I've got the best wife and 2 kids, and it's how I have always reacted maybe to the family stresses, whether it was money or discipline or whatever it may be. I know that I would tend to maybe go off on the deep end a little bit, and I needed to learn how to listen a little bit better and be a little more relaxed. And it's certainly been much more helpful in my family life by trying to fix it. I'm not perfect. Sometimes think I am, but I'm certainly not when it comes to my family relationships. But again, very lucky to have what I have. And that was another part that I had to learn. I had to learn to count my blessings, how to be, gracious, have gratitude for what I do have. And when, there are stressful times, like there always will be, I had to learn how to, not always be looking forward, but to look at what I've got and understand that I have been blessed and react, in the appropriate way. So, that's another little tip. The third thing that I did was identify what I really wanted that I knew would be relaxing to me. And in that case, I had always wanted a place somewhere warm to be able to vacation and mostly be by the water. Being by the water has always relaxed me. So I was, again, very fortunate that I had the means to be able to buy a second home, and I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed that so much. When I go there, it's just, I can just feel the stress melting away. Very, very relieving. A lot of the videos I've taken, have been with palm trees in the background, and that's where I've gone back and forth. So, it's nice to have that. And it was really a good move on my end to do that. And again, I was diagnosed with the health problems in 2020. I started taking action right away, to figure things out. And by November of 2022, I had sold my business. Also around the same time, I bought the second home, and it's just really helped out. And I do know that by relieving the stresses has certainly helped to help me reverse my kidney disease and eliminate the other conditions that I have had. So back to you. What are your stressors? Figure them out. You need to do some homework. You need to write down what your stressors are. You need to write down which are self-imposed. You need to write down which may be caused by somebody else. And you may need to write down also which ones really may not be stressful at all. You're just not dealing with them properly. If you do that, then you can put into a plan of action how you're going to fix those. And you're going to find out that it shouldn't really be that hard, but you've got to be committed. You've got to have an action plan. You got to be disciplined. You've got to use that READ method, because it needs to be a lifestyle change. And once you make a lifestyle change and you do it for long enough, it becomes permanent. With that, you're going to feel better, you're going to feel more relaxed, and it's going to help you to be more healthy. So, do that for yourself. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm just coming off of a record video for amount of people that, that watched it, amount of views, which, I thank everyone who's watching this. It was really encouraging to me, and I've had so much great feedback. I know that, there's a lot of people that I've been able to touch and help, and, for that, I'm so grateful, because that's the reason I did this in the first place. So please, if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hit the button to be notified when I put the new videos out, and help somebody else out by sharing my channel with them. And with that, have a great one.